Marijn, hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
How are you feeling in Chisinau?
Nice. Feeling very welcome here.
You've been here for 2 days. This is your second day?
Yes, this is my second
So
day.
tell us more, what have you been doing here?
I haven't been around much. I've been here in the hotel for giving a masterclass. I was invited by USAID to give a course for their project to help Moldovan companies.
How did the proposal come about from the company?
I work for a big trend forecaster in Holland. And she got the invitation to do a trend forecast and to do a workshop on how to translate the trends into usable collections that are more suitable for export. So clothing collections to make more suitable for export outside of Moldova.
Now, how does trend forecasting work? Is there a special system? What do you base it on?
Trend forecasting is looking a lot around the world and looking what's going on in the world, and then seeing what influences that has on consumers and how consumers behave. And how consumers behave is directly influenced on how we dress and how we buy. So if we see what's going on in the world, we can predict how we are going to behave. And if we know how we're going to behave, we can predict what we're going to wear.
Have there been any mistakes so far?
No, never.
No?
No. Only thing what does happen sometimes is that you predict a trend to be big and then it's not so big, or it takes a little bit longer to be big. But usually you don't get to be a good forecaster if you make too many mistakes. So Christine Boland, for who I work, doesn't make so many mistakes.
To get to the point where you are today, what did you have to do? Maybe go to certain fashion shows, study fashion and so on. What were the steps that you
Next to going to school and studying all the design part of the business, I learned a lot working for commercial companies. I learned a lot about retailing by working for a retail company and also working on the work floor in the shops and communicating with the customers. But of course I study fashion all the time. That's my hobby, my work. So I do, if I don't actually go to the fashion shows, I make sure I see all the fashion shows on the internet. And I watch a lot of television and I buy a lot of magazines.
Here in Moldova, our local designers, they participate in different contests, designer contests, and it happens that they take first place. But here they don't have the opportunity to develop. What would you suggest to them? How can they break through on an international market?
Well, it depends on what you want as a designer. If you want to make name for yourself under your own name, then it's very hard either way, whatever you do. If you come from London or you come from Moldova, it's not so big a difference, it's hard. If you want to work for a good company and you want to learn more, you should do an internship for companies you would like to work for. And because even if you have the best school and you have all the prizes and you're a very creative designer, you can still learn a lot by working for companies, because then you learn about branding and you learn about commerciality and you learn about all these things that you need extra next to being a designer to be a successful designer.
When you work for someone and at that period when you learn, what are, let's say, 3 things that you should take in consideration? Maybe some things you should pay attention to or some things you shouldn't do?
Well, you should do is do everything they ask you to do and do better than your best and do more than they ask for. It's always a starting point. If you do good, you get a job, and if you get a job, you learn even more, and then you can grow. But it's hard being an intern. It's not a nice job.
Does it always, like in the movie, start with bringing coffee and so on?
Yeah. I started bringing coffee.
Okay.
I started my career bringing coffee.
Now, at that point where you're thinking, what am I doing here? Why am I bringing coffee instead of...
If you bring coffee to people, you can hear what they're discussing, and if you listen to what they're discussing, you learn. And if you're picking up the needles from the floor and cleaning up, and everybody is working, you can see what they're working on and you can learn. But if you have to do it for months, then it's not fun anymore.
So that's how you learned?
Yeah, that's how I learned, yeah. Picking up the needles, bringing coffee, cleaning up ashtrays, picking up the telephone.
But always listening?
Always listening. And then somebody wasn't there, something needed to be done, and then they asked me. Because I'm always around, so they ask me. And do a good job, oh, they ask you again, and then you can grow and grow. And then I got a job. and then I got my own office.
And then you got your own interns who listen and...
Yes, yes. And now if I have my interns, I try not to just let them make coffee. I try to let them do more things, of course.
Getting back to what you're doing here for this training, what have you told the ladies that are there? What are the trends?
There are a lot of trends for summer 2012, but we have 4 main directions, 4 important directions, and they come from how we see and how we perceive the world today. We're celebrating nature, we're looking for the beauty of nature, and also we look for the beauty in contemporary cultures, but also in antique cultures.
Now what will be the colors for that summer?
Combinations in browns are coming back as being important. There's always important in classical and classic wear, but they're also becoming trend colors now. And next to that, the very, very bright colors, very painful to the eye colors.
Now there's people that match well their clothes. There's people that on purpose don't want to match their clothes. Are there any rules, like you have to combine the shoes with a purse or the shoes with the earrings, or?
No, you can do that. You can do that. There are rules. But I think we live in a world where those kind of rules no longer are the set rules. But of course, if you need rules, you can always apply those rules. But I think most important is that you combine things how you feel that they fit you. That's the most important thing. But still, if you have a beautiful jacket which fits you very well, and you have beautiful pants that fit you very well, and beautiful earrings, but maybe together they don't fit well. So I always say, look in the mirror before you walk out, and see yourself as other people would see you.
Now, did you get to walk around at least for a few minutes in the city?
Yes. Yesterday evening I went walking around a little bit. And if everything goes well this afternoon, I'll go visit some shops. Yeah, so that will be nice. But I thought it was a beautiful city. And the sun was shining and everybody looked beautiful. And I walked next to the park.
You got to walk around, and I'm sure you paid attention to the way people dress.
Yes, of course.
So please, a conclusion for us.
I saw different styles. I could see that according to age, people have younger people have more European way of dressing, or even American way of dressing. So I was not surprised, but I was more surprised than I thought I would be. But also in class, and it's very in contrast with women in Holland, for example, which is a good thing. I like that style better, is that everybody is immaculately styled. Like everything, all the mascara and the hair and the nails, everything is perfect. And always high heels, and walking around on these streets which have a lot of holes in it.
Oh yeah.
But even walking with, I like that very much, and it's very nice. Everybody taking a lot of pride in style and being immaculately dressed. That's nice.
What would you advise us? What can we take from Holland in terms of fashion that we can bring here and make our fashion industry better?
From Holland specifically, a relaxed, a sort of more comfortable way of dressing. But the very comfortable style is, I think, Holland should learn a little bit from the stylized style.
Okay.
But I think, or more, colorful, but not bright, but a little colorful, little more loose.
What is fashion for you?
Oxygen. It's my oxygen, and it's a way of expressing. It's the love of my life.